2, 9.
No, that's it.
I guess we're starting.
Oh, we would get.
Hi, I'm Chair Clarissa Burker. This meeting of the Kuli'ou'ou Kalani Iki Neighborhood Board will come to order. Aloha mai kako. Welcome, everyone. First, we'd just like to review the rules of speaking, and Vice Chair Cowie Lucas will recite them for you.
Anyone wishing to speak is asked to raise his or her hand, and when recognized by the chair, to address comments to the chair. Speakers are allowed 2 minutes. Those giving reports are asked to keep them under 3 minutes, and presenters under 5 minutes. Comments should be brief and to the point. Please silence all electronic devices. Participants on WebEx, please be sure to mute yourself when you are not speaking to avoid any background noise. When attending the meeting via cell phone, press *6 to mute and unmute. Note, the board may take action on any agenda item. As required by state sunshine law, specific issues not noted on this agenda cannot be voted on unless added to the agenda. This meeting is being recorded for future telecast. Comments made will be part of the video presentation.
Mahalo. Roll call and quorum by our neighborhood assistant, Zoidel Magwai.
Member Spankler? It's absent. Member Ham? Member Kilcoyne? Chair Burkert?
Here.
Member Shin? Member Fujii? Member Monson Gear? Hear her. Member Johnson?
Here, online.
Got it. Thank you. Vice Chair Lucas? Member Palmer? Out of here. Member Sonora Pale?
Here.
You got 8, no quorum.
Thank you. First, we like to start with our first responders and hear what great things they did this week and also their advice for this month. Good evening.
Good evening, everyone. I'm firefighter Cole Castor. I'm accompanied by Captain Emmett Hall and firefighter Corey Mullen. We're from Wailupe Fire Station 23. I'll be presenting the incident statistics for April 2026 and providing a fire safety tip. For more details on the incidents and related mapping information, please visit the fire response search tool on our HFD website at fire.honolulu.gov under the news and info tab. Should you have questions, please email hfdnhb@honolulu.gov. Regarding the incident statistics for April 2026, we had 6 activated alarms, 46 medical emergencies, 1 motor vehicle collision, and 2 mountain rescues. Before I move on to the tip, just reminding we can direct questions to emailing hfdnhb@honolulu.gov. So this month's fire safety tip is regarding wildfire prevention. Hawaii is entering a period of increased wildfire risk with dry conditions, tall grass, and shifting winds. 1 spark is all it takes. Most wildfires are human caused and preventable. Take action today with these tips. Clear dry brush and vegetation around your home. Never park on dry grass. Hot exhaust can ignite it. Avoid activities that create sparks or heat drying during dry, hot, windy weather. Stay aware of weather and fire conditions. For more information, visit fire.honolulu.gov and hawaiiwildfire.org. So that will conclude this report. Any questions?
Does anyone have questions for our firefighters? I don't see any. Could you please introduce the your fellow firefighters who are with us tonight?
Yes, certainly. This is my captain, Emmett Hall, and firefighter Corey Mullen.
Thank you very much for taking care of our community.
Of course, our pleasure.
May you have a quiet night. Next, the Honolulu Police Department.
Hi, good evening, Lieutenant Thompson, we're District 7. Stats for the month of April, there was 2 motor vehicle thefts, 3 burglaries, 8 thefts, 3 unauthorized entry to motor vehicle cases. Total calls for service for April is 5,614. Just safety tip for the month, we're going into our hurricane season come June, and it'd be a good way to spend May preparing. There's 12 ways prepared as per the FEMA website. Sign up for alerts and warnings, make a plan, save for a rainy day, practice emergency drills, test family communication plans, safeguard your documents, plan with your neighbors, make your home safer, know evacuation routes, assemble or update supplies, get involved in your community, and document and insure property. Additional information can be found on the state website, the dod.hawaii.gov/HIEMA. And I'm happy to answer any questions you may have at this time.
Are there any questions for our police officer? Don't see any right now. Thank you very much. Oh, we do.
I
Who?
think
Oh, Kalani, go ahead.
Hi. Thank you for your report. I just had a question. I just saw on the news that HPD and DLNR, don't care, and the US military police was doing an operation in Waikiki together. And I was a little concerned. Like, my question is there some agreement now between HPD and the US military police? How often are you working together? Is there like training happening together? I was just very curious about that. Thank you.
I'm not sure about the specific thing you're talking about, but I know there's military installations in Waikiki. We do have we have agreements that certain cases that happen on military bases regarding non-military personnel, we're responsible for handling. I could guess that that's probably what happened. They may have had something that was state or city involvement on a military, like maybe if we have something in Fort DeRusi, I'm not sure, but that would be something that was probably happening.
Oh, okay. Well, thank you. It said in front of Holly Cause. I don't know if is that
Yeah,
Fort DeRusi?
that's military.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you. Are there any other questions for our police? Okay, that's it for today. Thank you very much, Lieutenant Thompson.
Have a good
Thank
evening.
You too. Okay. We can now conduct board business. So first, I'd like to, we have vacancies on the neighborhood. Oh, sorry, Jimmy, I'm sorry. Jimmy, come on up, Jimmy Llanos.
Hi, everyone. Good evening. My name is Jimmy Llanos, and I'll be representing Board of Water Supply tonight. For my main break report, there was only one main break in the month of April. That was an 8-inch diameter pipe, and it occurred on April 12th. And it occurred at 14 Niuhi Street. And next, for my general water announcements, I'm going to be talking about water conservation. Recent storms may have brought rain, but water conservation still matters. Rainfall alone is not enough to offset everyday water use, especially during the warmer summer months. That is why it is important to continue using water wisely and doing our part to prevent waste. Here are some easy ways to save water this summer. Water your plants early in the morning to reduce evaporation. Take shorter showers. Check for toilet leaks A faulty flapper is often the culprit. Do not let the faucet run unnecessarily, and apply for BWS rebates on water efficient appliances and systems. Using water wisely helps conserve this valuable resource and can help lower your water bill. Get more tips at www.boardofwatersupply.com/7ways. And that concludes my report, and I'm happy to answer any questions.
Thank you, Jimmy. Does anyone have questions for Board of Water Supply? Kalani, please go ahead.
Hi, thanks for your report. I just read a report today about data centers across the United States, and I in the report it said that on Oahu we have about seven or nine data centers. My question is, are these data centers using large amounts of water?
Off the top of my head, I'm not sure what the consumption of all these data centers are or how many there are, but I can check with our team and I'll report back next month to see how much water they're using.
Thank you. I can send you the report. It has the names and the locations of the data centers on Oahu. I'm just kind of curious to see what is the usage, the water usage. That's one of the huge concerns happening right now across the United States with the growing number of data centers. It's about to like explode, and from what I've read, like going on Chat GPT and once and asking a question uses as much water as a glass of, like a glass of water, literally. So we're talking about gallons and gallons of water being used. And I just was wondering if that information is available. Thank you very much. And I'll send you the report. Thank you.
Thank you.
Are there any other questions for Board of Water Supply official Jimmy Llanos? Okay. Jimmy, thank you. We look forward to hearing what the answer to that is. I wasn't even aware of that need of that water would be used. So next time.
Okay. Yeah, I'm curious as well.
Yeah.
Thank you for having me.
Okay, appreciate you coming tonight.
Thank you. Have a good evening.
You too. We will now proceed to board business, and first item on the agenda is having enough people on the board so that we represent our community and can get things done for our community. So I'm going to read off where we have vacancies, and then I will ask for volunteers from any volunteers that might be willing to represent these sub-districts to please come up. So we have a vacancy each in Lower Wailaiki, which is sub-district number 1, Mid Wailaiki, which is sub-district number 2, Wailaiki and Wili Nui, which is sub-district number 3, Kainani Wailupe Peninsula, sub-district 5, and Hawaiiloa Ridge New Valley, sub-district 7. Oh, one more. We have a vacancy also in Kuli'ou'ou. Do we have a volunteer to join us on the board from any of these sub-districts? Yes, would you please come on up and introduce yourself to us?
Aloha board, chair and members. My name is Sandra Fund. I might be vaguely familiar because I was here a couple of months ago to talk about our streetlights being out for months and the dog leash petition for Wailaiki Park. I've been a resident of Anali'i Place, which is Lower Wailaiki near the soccer park, for 30 years. Been very busy working and retired in 2020, so I have more time now. I worked for mostly government attached agencies in real estate development, land transactions, land development, and focused on affordable housing. My last job was the director of the Department of Land Management for the City and County of Honolulu. With that role, we focused on acquisitions of property for affordable housing primarily, but other types of land transactions for the city, as well as the Clean Water Natural Land Program, which is required by the city to provide conservation and environmental lands for conservation and cultural use. In that vein, we did, while I was there, the Kanevai Spring property for the city to acquire that, to keep that in preservation under a conservation easement. And also did the Aina Haina properties on Howe Street in the back and keep that from any further development, as was the wishes of I think, the community. So I got really interested in more of the conservation side, having worked in affordable housing for so many years and being on the development side. So I did ask Chair Burkhardt if there was an opening, but Mr. Stanton was in the position. So I understand he's resigned or not here. So I'm willing to step into his place if the board so desires and is okay with that. As a disclosure, I'm on two boards already. One is Malama Mauna Lua. So you may be aware they come to this board quite often to report on conservation efforts for Malama Mauna Lua Bay. And another one is Homes Hawaii Inc., which is an affordable housing developer. Most of the projects that we're building are for senior and low income family. Those, however, are in the west side. We have one in Waipahu and two in Coral Ridge now. So those, that board will not pretty much have any effect on my serving on this board. Did you answer any questions?
Does anyone have any questions for Sandra?
When I became a board member, I just mentioned my name, Bill, and said I lived in Aina Haina, and I was on the board. Sure appreciate your background, and that was pretty awesome, but I think we got a pretty good chance here.
Okay. May I have a motion to, well, oh, all right. Well, one of you, please
I
nominate
propose
me.
the motion to nominate Sandra.
Thank you. So I understand, Zoidel, that her place of residence has been checked. So we are going, let's have a motion to, well, do we need another motion to vote?
Need to vote. If you can ask, we need all 9 board members.
Yes.
I'm not going to do the vote.
Okay. Are there any objections to having Sandy Fund join us as a board member?
Thank you.
Well, congratulations, and we are absolutely delighted to have you join us. Yes.
I
please
start
have a
already?
seat. Yes. Okay, we need a brief recess to swear her in.
What?
Initiation.
May I call us back in session? All right. We are back in session. One board member stronger. Yeah. We'll next discuss the resolution recommending FAA flight path changes. And I'd like to the changes will mitigate aircraft and helicopter noise over our communities. I'd like to thank Chad Wasden and Amy Fuller for speaking to us on March 4th and drafting a resolution for the neighborhood boards. So the resolution has been distributed. May I have a motion to consider the resolution?
I move.
Second? Okay, so we have a motion to consider the resolution recommending FAA flight plan changes. And is there any discussion? Does anyone have any comments or anything on it that you don't like before we vote on it? Doré?
Can someone summarize it? Summarize it for us, so whoever wrote it, or
Oh, okay.
I have it in front of me. I just want.
Chad, do you have
acknowledge
Chad
it.
Wasden online? Okay. If you would like to, have you had a chance to read it? Do you want to summarize it for everyone?
I'm looking at it right now.
Oh, okay, I can. So I know. So the FAA is considering changing the flight paths that helicopters and aircraft can go over. And Chad Wasden, I think he's from neighborhood board number 11. He is, I forget what his skill set is. I believe he's a pilot and he has an association with the aviation industry, but he has recommended that certain flight paths be eliminated and that the other flight paths be rerouted as far south as possible so that they do not go over residences, especially at night. So, and it would also require that tour helicopters, tour airplanes, and private pleasure craft stay 2 miles off the coast of all the Hawaii coastal communities. So the desired flight paths, which would be less of a noise problem to the communities, are suggested. And this resolution is in support as a neighborhood board to implement these recommendations. So, sure. Okay. So may I have are you ready to vote? Well, is there any discussion? I can read the now therefore part, which is the recommendations. Okay. Now therefore, the neighborhood board number 2 recommends that the FAA incorporate the following actions into HAMP, which is the Hawaii Airspace Modernization Project. And that following actions are: 1, eliminate the Maggie 3 and Simon 1 arrival flight paths or reroute them offshore to the east or west of Oahu, away from any populated areas and at least 5 miles off the coast. 2, reroute the MMK5 and PALAY 3 departure flight paths as far south as possible. We recommend these flights immediately turn south after takeoff until they are 5 miles south off the coast of Diamond Head, and that these flights stay 5 miles south and not be allowed to veer east or north until clear of Oahu and populated areas. 3, make the freeway, I think this is the most popular flight paths that the airlines use. Make the freeway VFR arrival and departure a flight path of last resort. I think it goes right over Kalani Freeway. That's why it's called the freeway. Small planes should also be directed to runways where arrivals and departures can be routed offshore. This flight path should also have a curfew. No flights between the hours of 10 p.m. and 7 a.m. And 4, that I read was about the tour aircraft that they stay 2 miles off the coast of all Hawaii coastal communities. Any more questions regarding the resolution? Is there any further discussion regarding this resolution, or would you like to take a look at it if you haven't had a chance before voting on it? I can pass it around and we could vote on it after Aloha gives the community climate mandate for East Oahu presentation. What do you want to do?
Are there some safety issues that we're not aware of? I mean, there must be a reason why they follow certain flight paths for the safety of the passengers. Is there something we're missing here that they haven't mentioned?
That's a good question, and I'm not the one to answer it. What we could do is we could postpone a vote on this resolution until we get answers from the resolution author and have him come back. That'll have to be in July. Would you like to do that? Does the board wish to postpone the support of this resolution? Janine? Janine,
Hi, can you hear me now?
and you speak loud?
Can you hear me now?
Yep.
I attended a couple of those meetings where with the flight paths and Congressman Case, and basically the flights don't want to pay for the extra equipment that it'll cost to go fly out over the water, and it's cheaper to fly over land. So we've seen the times when they have helicopters have crashed into our streets, and so it happens. And so it's a safety issue, but basically they don't want to pay to have the equipment necessary to go out over the water. They'd rather not, and that's the reason why they opposed it. And so to me, it's they don't really care about our neighborhoods. They just want to save money, make more profits.
Thank you for your comments, Janine. Kalani, go ahead.
Oh, shit. Okay. My question is, when are the comments due, for this particular issue?
I don't know. Another good point. Well,
I have a question.
yes, go ahead,
Chair.
Jerry.
The helicopter tour provision seems kind of extreme to force them 2 miles off of all coasts. I'm someone who's very like anti-corporation and pro-environment, but that kind of defeats the purpose of helicopter tours to be 2 miles off. It just seems like that. I don't know if that's in only specific communities or all, but I think if it's all communities, that seems really extreme to me. Maybe if it's like in highly populated areas, like that would make sense. Or I don't know. I have a lot of questions about this. Like if they go further out, is that more emissions for our state? Because aviation is a huge contributor of our greenhouse gas emissions. And that's something that we're actively working on at county and state, is to decarbonize. That's one question I have. And then I just flagged the tour helicopters and airplane provision seems extreme, and if that's arbitrary, I would feel uncomfortable voting on this at this time. So I personally think we need some more answers if we're to vote on this.
Kalani?
Yeah, so we were given the reso a few days ago. And then it was discussed in our last meeting, I believe.
It was March.
Was it March? Yeah. So I think we're ready to vote. That's my opinion. I don't want to miss the comment period.
Yeah. Yes, go ahead. Yeah, go ahead. Kahi, come on up to the mic and introduce yourself.
Aloha, my name is Kali Picaro. I've met most of you, but I just had a quick question, not a question, excuse me, comment regarding DeRay's statement. When we've had to negotiate with industry and whatnot in the past, we've had to meet somewhere in the middle. So if we want it to be a mile, we should probably keep it at 2 miles and whatnot, in the idea that we're probably going to have to compromise with industry when it comes down to negotiating the final plan. Just a thought.
Thank you. All right, may I have a show of hands of board members? The question is, are you ready to vote? All in favor of voting, raise your hands. No? Okay, Zoidel has a better way of doing this.
And yeah, and it's not a binding document. They don't have to do 2 miles. It's just a suggestion.
Yeah, I was gonna say the same thing.
So
I was gonna say the same thing. It looks like March 16th was the comment period end, so it would be nice to go on record, but it seems like it's already passed.
So does our vote count?
As the discussions happens, they can refer to this. We have this many boards in favor. That's what.
Do you recommend we take a vote on the resolution as
Have 9 votes. 9, that report, not.
yes, so we have had our discussion and there aren't answers to all of the questions, and there are good questions. I would say at this point, without having all those answers, how many would those board members who feel that they can support this resolution as is, please please raise your hands if you can vote for it. Okay, so we have 4. Okay, and all of those, and those who feel they cannot vote for it without knowing more, please raise your hands. 2. Okay, so this measure does not pass, and I will notify the, okay, I think we need to have all 9 members vote in order, no, in order to move forward. So we need 9 votes. So the measure does, the resolution does not pass as is without having some of these issues resolved. So I will request that Chad Wasden return and be able to speak to us again. Okay, I'm sorry I went out of order. So the next item is speaker timing revisions. Pardon? Oh, he keeps us honest. He keeps me honest. Thank you. I was so excited about voting on Sandra Fund that I got all out of whack here. Okay, this is more boring though. Approval of our regular meeting minutes from April 1st, 2026. The minutes from April 1st, 2026 have been distributed. Are there any corrections to the minutes? Okay. If there are no corrections, the minutes are approved. Okay, we will now proceed to speaker timing revisions, and I want to thank all of our board members as well as members of the public for your suggestions. The speaker timing outlet has been distributed. And really it has, I want to just review why we have time limits for our speakers, whether they're people who have a question or presentations or reports. It's to out of respect for other speakers in the audience. Otherwise, there are meetings that go on and then nobody wants to go to them because everyone is short of time. And so we try to stick to 2 hours, and we also don't have James, our Olelo, our recorder from Olelo, for more than 2 hours, I believe. So for 3, okay. That was supposed to be a secret, but we try to keep it under 2 hours because this is the middle of the week and everybody has to go to work and their families after this. So the other reason is to allow enough time for multiple speakers and concerns to be addressed within the time limit we have. So our current timing rules were given by Vice Chair Lucas at the beginning of the meeting. And just to recap that, speakers are asked to stay under 2 minutes, reports at 3 minutes or under, and presentations under 5 minutes. Now, there are times when presentations can't possibly be given within a 5-minute time limit. And, and board members, what the change is that board members 1 month prior to the meeting in which the presentation occurs may allow an extension of to 10 minutes for a presentation that's complicated or involves a lot of material. So that is one of the changes. And the other is to give officials up to 10 minutes for their reports because they are addressing public concerns, things that we asked them at previous meetings, as well as giving reports on legislative changes or bills coming up that affect our community. Also, people want to ask them questions, and there are things that they will try to take care of as they are able to. So the proposal is to give officials up to 10 minutes for reports, whereas before it's been 5 minutes, and to give presenters up to 10 minutes if they need it with prior board approval. So may I have a motion to discuss the proposed changes? May I have a motion?
I move to discuss them.
Thank you. May I have a second? Thank you. It is moved and seconded to consider revising the length allotted for officials and presenters. Is there any discussion? Okay. Is the board ready to vote on changing the time to officials and reports and presentations to 10 minutes?
I have my hand up.
Hi, Kalani.
Hi. Thanks for the rules. I had I just wanted some clarification. So when you say that you can extend the presenter's minutes to 10 minutes, will that require a vote of the board?
Yes, so we will, I will let you know that a lengthy presentation is coming up at the next meeting and you will have a chance to vote on it. Because
Will we
we'd like
vote
to
on it?
we'd like to keep presentations to 5 minutes because we don't have a lot of time during many of our board meetings to make all of them 10 minutes long.
Okay.
Uh,
Yes. I just have a few questions. So when is the vote going to take place? So are we going to vote
We're going to vote
before?
tonight.
No, on the individual presentations, because I just want to make sure everyone gets fair treatment. On the individual presentations, are we going to vote after their 5 minutes is up and they need additional time? Or
No,
are
no,
we going- Okay,
it'll be the meeting before the presentation will come on the agenda. So it's a future agenda item that you're going to vote on.
okay. So how will we know? Um, okay, so I'm just kind of concerned about that. So who's going to, like, so anybody can make a motion to say, let's give this next presenter 10 minutes? Is that how it's gonna work?
I will summarize what the presentation is about and why an extension of time is needed, and we'll ask you to vote, well, to vote to agree to allow that presentation longer time.
Okay. Um, so my next question is, what if there is a group presenting and their 5 minutes is up, but they still have more information to share and they want to extend it to 10? Can we then take a vote to extend it to 10? Is that in the rules?
No? Well, currently that's a separate, it can be done, but that is not what we're talking about today.
Okay.
Or perhaps you could clarify. I thought I heard you say, Chair, that we would vote on this in advance. Okay, so it's not a same day thing. It's the month prior thing when it comes up on the agenda. Okay, thank you.
What we do in practice is if there is a presentation that looks like it's just about, I mean, that they need another minute, they're certainly going to be allowed another minute. Or, you know, we appreciate people who come to present, but as a general rule, allowing all presentations 10 minutes will take up more time than we have. It would allow us, we'd have to restrict the number of presentations that can be put on the agenda. So.
Okay, and then my other question is, how much time does a testifier have?
Pardon? Who?
A testifier, a public testifier,
minutes.
how much time? 2 minutes.
Yes.
Okay. Okay, I'll see how that works. I mean, I'm just trying to make sure that everyone is treated fairly and that we're not pre-selecting who gets 10 minutes and who doesn't. And that's my only concern. I just want to put that out there. But thank you for the rules. I appreciate you trying to address it.
Okay. So we have timer cues now. We have an electronic timer that is visible now on WebEx for those who are online. And for anyone who can see the screen from the audience, the live audience here, you can see how much time is left. And we also have cue cards, but I made those before we had the visible timer. So as long as everybody can see how much time they have. Are there any questions about the electronic timer using that?
So that's not a 2-minute timer, correct? That's a 2-hour timer. But it's
not going, it's stuck. Well, maybe we should go back to having a timer who doesn't have so many, who's not multitasking like you are, Zoidel. Okay, well, in theory, would all those, in theory, are you ready to vote on changing the time to 10 minutes? Okay, so show of hands, all in favor, raise your hand. All. Okay, please put your hands down. Those opposed to making those.
She can't see the Janine says she can't see any timer online.
Okay, we're gonna have to do something about that, Janine. We're sorry. But this was the first test of the online timer, so we've got to make this better, work better. So any opposed, those opposed, please raise your hand. Opposed to extending time limits to 10 minutes? Okay, I don't see any. So the timing revisions are adopted. Thank you. Okay, I'd like to go ahead to our main speaker for under board business, and that is Aloha McGuffey. Aloha, would you please come up and talk to us about the community climate mandate for East Oahu? And do you have someone to help manage your slides? Oh, okay, great, thank you. Aloha. Yes, Aloha has 10 minutes.
Okay, well, thank you so much, Chair, and members of the board for allowing me to present tonight on the climate and resilience mandate for East Oahu. This is, by the way, a draft of what we are going to be doing, and I'll be coming back actually in July when you have your next meeting to follow up with questions and answers and so forth. So the purpose of the climate and resilience mandate is to bring together all of the communities of East Oahu. And so you can see that we have from Kaimuki, Palolo, Wailai Kahala, Kuli'ou'ou, Kalani, Hawaii Kai, and Waimanalo. These are the 6 neighborhood boards that are in the East Oahu eastern part of Oahu. So our goal tonight is simply to introduce you to what we're doing and then also answer any questions and come back again in July. Rick? Ken? Okay, excuse me. All right, so this East Oahu so our goal here is to identify some of the things that we are challenged with, Mauka to Makai, from Palolo, Kaimuki over to Waimanalo, because we are all connected with the watershed streams and ocean resources. So as you know, the Kuli'ou'ou Mountains Range, rain that flows on the range comes down either into Mauna Loa Bay or it comes down into Waimanalo Bay. So that's why it's important for us to collaborate and communicate our efforts when it comes to climate and building a resilient community. So why does this matter? We're already experiencing climate change. Here in Kuli'ou'ou, you've had flooding. In other areas, we've had wildfires. Down in the shoreline, we are experiencing reef and watershed impacts, strong winds and power outages like we had during the Kona low, coastal erosion and sea level rise. These are all affecting us, as you know. These are real local challenges, and we believe that it requires local solutions. So each community, oops, maybe one back. Yep. Oh, maybe. Oh, no. Oh, okay. Okay, let's just go to this one. Yeah. Yeah, that's fine. You can go to this one. Okay. So the group that's organizing this, okay, one more back. No, back up. Sorry. Yep. It's the photos, the photo with everybody in one more, probably. There we go. So, so how did this mandate draft come about? We held a symposium for climate resilience organized by the Kiskihooi. And some of you here in the audience, Tyrone is here, Rick is here, and some online attended the symposium. We had about 100 people that attended, and I'll talk a little bit more of what they did. But they involved residents, educators, cultural practitioners, business and government agencies. Our governor, Josh Green, spoke. We had many of our 6 neighborhood board members and chairs speak. So did your chair here. And we had a city house representative, Tina Grandinetti, who also spoke. So we had a very diverse group of people attending. We also had 10 roundtables. It was a 2-day event. On the first day, we had 32 speakers, and they all talked about different concerns that we have in the community, in our state, as well as on our different islands and in our different communities. And we had 10 roundtables. Each of the roundtables had a different topic, and it's hard for you to see on this slide in this angle, but let me read you the 10 roundtables that we had. The most important probably is the policy alignment and advocacy. What our symposium people discovered is that we have these plans, city plans, state plans, and other plans, Board of Water Supply plans, that we all, must understand and work with. And that if our voices are not included in that plan, then we may lose out in terms of funding, in terms of infrastructure building, and so forth. So our hope is that with this mandate, as a group from East Oahu, that we'll be able to move forward by including our voices in all of these different plans that we are faced with or governed by. Okay. Next slide. All right. So this is not a one size fit all. No, that's okay. This is not a one size fit all plan. This is a plan that we're hoping all of our 6 neighborhood boards can come together with the voices of your communities and help us to take the plan that was drafted and updated with your unique challenges and goals, as well as the solutions that we here locally have and can offer. Okay. Now, connection to the city and county plans. These are the, when you go online, I believe it's already posted. This PowerPoint presentation is already posted, as well as the draft mandate, onto the Neighborhood Commission Office website. When you do get to the PowerPoint presentation, these blue bullet points for East Honolulu Sustainable Communities Plan, which Kuli'ou'ou Kalani is part of, the Ko'olau Poko Sustainability Plan, which is Waimanalo, the Primary Urban Center Development Plan, which is, it goes from Wailai Nui Stream all the way through to Pearl City. So it'll also include the Wailai Kahala Neighborhood Board, as well as Kaimuki and Palolo. And then we're going to be focusing as well on the Board of Water Supply East Honolulu Plan. Okay. Okay. All right. So these are the steps that we've taken so far. So number one, if you can read that, it's Kiskihooi came together and organized this symposium last September 18 to 19, 2025. Then the Kiskihooi members organized a steering committee and put together the draft. And then the steering committee reviewed it, made their edits, and then it went over to the Hawaii Green Growth organization, which is responsible for managing the state of Hawaii's Aloha Plus Challenge goals. There's 6 goals. So the The reason that Hawaii Green Growth reviewed it was to ensure that it aligned with the state. So we have all these city and county plans, but all those plans also roll up into the state plans, and the state has 6 goals. So we wanted to make sure that the mandate is aligned with the plan. We then decided that we needed to take it to each of the 6 neighborhood boards. And so we've done Hawaii Kai, Kuli'ou'ou is the second, and then we'll continue on with all the other board members May, June, and July. And we've asked each of the chairs to give us at least 2 meetings to present, introduce you, and then come back and get into more of the details and get your comments, your feedback. Oh, I'm sorry. So our guiding principles is malama, to care for and steward our communities, kuleana, we have shared responsibility, and ho'omau, to sustain our communities. So the goal here is that we get as many people from each of our communities to get involved. And many of our nonprofit organizations, and you're going to be hearing from Tyrone soon, he's doing a great job with our forest reforestation and other activities. So we have many nonprofit organizations in East Oahu that are already doing great work. The Mauna Lua Heritage Fish Pond Center, Malama Mauna Lua, Protect and Preserve Hawaii, and so forth. So what we are hoping to do, and these are all people, organizations that have been with our Kiskahui since the beginning of our formation, which was back in 2020, when it was formed by the Kahala Hotel and Resort. So this is the Kahala Hotel and Resort Initiative, and they are looking to build a resilient community of East Oahu. And as stewards, they feel that they are, stewards of this community, so they need to help our communities to move forward in building a thriving community.
Kalamai aloha.
Okay.
Our time is up tonight, and mahalo nui loa for introducing us to this initiative, and we look forward to seeing you in July.
Yeah, thank you.
But please let us let me know what our homework is between now and July. Okay.
Yes, that's good. So the mandate was sent to the neighborhood commission office, and it's uploaded, and I believe the board members already have one. And I encourage all of our other people here in the audience, as well as those online and others, to please read the mandate, review the PowerPoint if you feel that is important, which I think it is, and then be prepared to come with your questions or thoughts or suggestions to make our community a more thriving community. Mahalo for that. Yeah, thank you.
Kalani.
I have a question. I don't know where the link is. Is there I don't see it on the agenda. Where would I find it for the PowerPoint?
It's
Is it
on
on
the
the
agenda under Google Drive link.
under Google Drive link? Okay.
Yeah, you'll need your computer to click on it and open it up.
Okay, so it's in there.
Yes, go ahead.
Sorry,
please,
I
Becca.
just want to applaud your efforts, because I think there's so many things that we're all doing in silos, and just the idea of us kind of working together, and we're in different ahupua'as, but still in this section to help each other and focus on something that feels like real effort and really hopefully doable. But thank you for thinking of that and expanding it.
Well, thank you. It's a long term, when the Kahala decided to put together their plan to thrive, this particular goal is a 2050 goal. And it's aligned with a number of different milestones that the state has identified in their Aloha Plus Challenge goals. So we hope that we can get more people like yourselves to participate in this initiative. Mahalo nui.
Mahalo.
No other questions? Oh,
No,
okay.
I don't see any. Thank you. Yeah. We'll now go to public input for items not on the agenda, and I'd first like to introduce one of our community residents who has an announcement to make. Ma'am, would you please come on up? I didn't catch your name. I'm sorry. Go ahead, please introduce yourself.
Tall one. My name is Sue Cowing, and I think it was back in February, Wendy White and I appeared to tell you about another Malkutamakai project, which is Poetry from Ridge to Reef. And this is placing poetry boxes with a poem in them in natural cultural sites that we want to draw people's attention and appreciation to. And at that time, we thought our first unveiling was going to be at the World Wetlands Day at the wetlands in Hawaii Kai. And if anybody remembers that day, the sky opened up and the wetlands were too wet for everybody but the moorhens. So that was canceled and it was not rescheduled. Normally the wetlands are open for work days because they have to be closed to keep the dogs out and that sort of thing. So usually the people who see it are those who go for work days. But we're having a little ceremony finally on May 30th to unveil our first box. And I have some flyers here about it. If anyone, my internet has been down for 2 days, and so I couldn't print the one that has more information, but I have my contact number if anyone would like to, because they do have to have a safety waiver for anybody who goes. If you would like to go, please take a flyer and let me know, and we'll look forward to seeing you. It's just a wonderful place to be, and this will be we're going to have a little ceremony and literally unveil our box. And so I hope people will join us. If you haven't had a chance to see the wetlands, this is a good chance to go. I hope to see you there. Thanks.
Thank you. And we have a candidate for Chair of City Council. Please come on up.
Hi, good evening, everyone. My name is Jason Liang, and I'm running for City Council. So I won't talk about my platform, but I have some literature available here, and I'll be around after meeting if you have any questions for me. Thank you.
Okay. Are there any other candidates who would like to introduce themselves? No. Oh, okay, Kai. We all know you.
I think you guys all know me already, but for those that don't, my name is Kahi Picaro, and I am running for House of Representatives for this district. If you have any questions, hit me up. Thanks.
All right, thank you. All right, are we missing anyone else? No? Okay, are there any members of the public who have a concern that they'd like to raise? Okay. Well, if you think of something where we'll allow our officials to give their reports, and you are welcome to ask them questions as they come up. So first, I'd like to introduce Congressman Ed Case's representative, Kekua Kaluhiva. Are you with us tonight? Oh, I don't hear Kekua. Okay. But I know that Dita Holyfield, who is Major Rick Blangiardi's representative, is here. Hey, Dita.
Good evening, Chair and Vice Chair Lucas. Dita Holyfield, I'm the Director of Enterprise Services. I run the Honolulu Zoo, 6 municipal golf courses. I oversee 22 concessions, building services, and all of the venues, the entertainment venues from the Waikiki Shell, the X Hall, and the Blaisdell Arena and Concert Hall. It's my privilege to be here and share Mayor's information this evening, but I wanted to address member Kalani. She had asked earlier regarding the Fort DeRussy Beach, and we had the privilege today in cabinet for just a few minutes to have a little briefing about that. So I wanted to share what I could with you, and that was, it was a joint effort with the Sheriff's Department, the Honolulu Police Department, and the Army. there on the beach, and it was to address concerns and do sweeps for illicit and illegal activity, such as pop-up tourist necklaces and things being sold. I don't have the answer, Member Kalani, for you in terms of what the exact commitment level in terms of, an official cooperation letter, but I'll get back to you. I will get back to chair since we're not going to convene in June, and I will try to get you that information.
Thank you. Is there anything you would like to tell us? What's new in the mayor's office that we may not have read about in the paper?
Yes, let me go through the report and then I'll take questions. The city and county of Honolulu continues cleanup and recovery efforts with the community, state, federal partners following three consecutive severe weather systems, including the Kuli'ou'ou storms that brought significant flooding to all the parts of the island. To provide consistent and reliable source of information, the city has launched a recovery website at oneoahu.com, where residents can find information on reporting home damage, health and safety tips, available assistance, and ways to support impacted communities. Cleanup operations continue ongoing across Oahu, particularly, of course, in the North Shore. Dozens of debris removal and hauling resources have been deployed, including with dump trucks, heavy machinery, and dumpsters. We are open from 7 a.m. to 6 p.m. with H Power accepting commercial, municipal solid waste, and Waimanalo Gulch accepting residential construction debris such as dirt, rock, and concrete. Additionally, the previously planned mayor's town hall meetings have been indefinitely postponed as we, the administration, and our departments are focusing on the efforts addressing the damage from the Kuli'ou'ou storms and focusing on mitigating impacts of the oncoming storms. From the mayor's newsletter, the Oahu recovers from catastrophic storms. Mayor's town halls have been postponed. Mayor delivers the 2026 State of the City Address. And my favorite, the Honolulu Zoo earns prestigious Association of Zoos and Aquariums accreditation. And then the city expands housing options in Chinatown. And we want to welcome Deputy Director Trisha Dang, who joins the Office of Climate Change, Sustainability, and Resiliency. For more information from Mayor's report and our monthly newsletter, you can go to honolulu.gov/mayor/newsletter. To address the department in issues, there were just two this time, and then I'll take questions. From DTS, there were questions regarding the speed calming measures. Can speed humps be installed in the area of Kahalakua community? DTS has completed their investigation into this request, and DTS reviewed confirmed that this roadway is located within a private gated community. Therefore, it is out of our city's jurisdiction and we would not be able to assist. We are encouraging everyone to please direct any further concerns to the private property management company or the homeowners association responsible for the roadway. And then lastly, for DPP, originally it was for EMV, but it's been referred back to the DPP for the answer. Burnt debris concern, the status of removing the remaining debris from a burnt property near, is it Lava and Lava Street? I hope I'm saying that correct. The remaining debris has been removed according to building permit BP 2025/192-701, and that task has been closed. Member Kalani, I know you had your hand up first. How can I help you this evening?
Oh, I think you answered my question. I did go to the Oahu One website again. I did submit the damage and the flooding we experienced. My question was about FEMA, how to apply for FEMA, but when I went to that website, the FEMA link was on there. Thanks.
Yes, my pleasure. Great to see you tonight.
We have there's a question from Andrea Wagner. Andrea, please go ahead.
Hi, I just wanted to do a clarification on that DPP report regarding the property next to us. I spoke with an individual at the DPP. Yes, the physical structure was mostly removed and much of the debris was removed. However, I had filed a report regarding concern about broken glass that continues over the property, damage or metal shards. And now the property owner who started the fires has returned to the property, is camping on the property. So that is, the status is not cleared. But thank you for your efforts.
Thank you, Member Andrea. I will do my best to go back to DPP. I will share your concerns, especially with the glass and the shards. I know that that's a very dangerous situation. So I will get that addressed for you. And I appreciate your due diligence. Please stay honest so that we make sure that we can complete our task that we're been asked to do.
Yeah, just for your information, I had filed the report because I was concerned about children who I happened to see going on the property. And when I expressed that concern to the representative of DPP, the response was, well, that's a civil matter. When I asked what that meant, he said that if someone was injured, then the parents could sue. As far as he is concerned, the matter's closed.
Well, as committed earlier, I will revisit that for all of us and I'll report back. I'll lean in a little bit and see if I can do anything to help. And I will report back. And I just really appreciate your concern. It sounds
Thank you.
like it's still a dangerous situation.
Are there any other questions for Dita? Yes. Okay, Shelley Ham, go ahead.
Hi, Dita. I'm not certain if you're the right person to talk to about this, but what are the options for the neighbors who rightfully should be concerned about their own safety in this situation? Because clearly we're dealing with an individual who needs help. So what resources are available to them to make sure that they and their families remain safe?
Thank you, Shelley, for your concern. I am sure there's a cross collaboration between departments. I'll try to go to one of my my bosses and just ask. I'm sure it sounds like, you know, we're going to need to get HPD involved, and I don't know what we can do yet, but I will make sure that I'll come back and give some really solid information. Sounds like we need to get several of the divisions in to work together as a team.
Thank you.
Thanks, Shelley.
There's a question from Janine Johnson.
Hi, Dita.
Hi, Janine.
I so appreciate you. You're so responsive. But we had a couple of residents come to our neighborhood board meeting. I want to say in February or March, complaining about the bend in the Kalani Highway and how speeders were speeding, and they would like to have a speed hump put at certain sections. And we were told we couldn't have that done, but now it seems like we could, because it is a state road. Because you just said that private property can't put it on, but since it's a state property, we'd like to have the DOT give us a study about putting where would that be the best place to have that put, because the Hawaii Kai community put one in their community to slow traffic down, and Waimanalo has them practically every 20 feet when you go through Waimanalo. It just seems like there are so many accidents just right in that area, and if we can slow people down and save lives, that would be a great thing.
Excuse me, Janine, we're having trouble understanding your words. They sound kind of garbled. Could you adjust your mic and just summarize what you said? Because I couldn't understand.
Hi, I'm so sorry. Dita, were you able to hear me?
I think I understood you. I think my response just right now is I need to make sure that I get exactly the area you're talking about. And I think that's where Chair had a hard time understanding the actual location. And then it will be, is that a state property or is that a city property? And then I'll be able to talk to either DTS or DOT at that point. So if I could just get exactly where you're speaking of, then I will do my due diligence.
Okay, I'll put it in the chat.
Awesome. And then lastly, Chair, may I advocate for one small thing?
Please.
It's Broadway season again. So I'm all excited that for this next season, November, we're going to be able to buy tickets to the Book of Mormon. And then next summer, we have Mamma Mia coming. Both of those Broadway musicals, you don't have to go to New York to see, and you can enjoy it in beautiful Honolulu at the concert hall. And both of those are top 10 tier Broadway opportunities for all of us. So thank you for letting me share.
Hey, Dita, don't leave yet. We have a question. Sandra
Okay.
Flynn would like to ask you something.
Okay. Aloha, Director Hollifield. My question is about the streetlights on Anali'i Street. It took a while for those to finally be corrected, but what they did was string overhead lights on underground light poles. And this took a lot of effort with HECO coming in to investigate those street poles, city street lights. And what they found was that inside those street poles, they're totally fried, they're really old. And that was partly why, 5 of them went out at one time. It is now corrected, thank you to city and HECO. However, what they did was string like a thin overhead light. So my question is just, is the city streetlight division planning a project to fix those poles and then eventually get the streetlights back underground? Because the lights are, the fix seems to be temporary, but I really want to know what they're going to do next with that. If that's
Okay.
the permanent fix and that's it, or some of the neighborhood people are saying, well, that looks kind of flimsy and a little worried that strong wind would knock them over at some point. So, but maybe that is strong enough and that's the fix you're proposing. I just wanted to know. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you. I'll be back in July and I will answer all those questions. Thank you for the opportunity. And it does seem like I'm hoping it's not completed.
Thank you, Dita.
Happy Mother's Day and mahalo for tonight.
Yeah, happy Mother's Day. Hey, Dita, there's a in the chat. Can you see it? The
I cannot
address for the can you you can or you can't.
I will get the transcribing notes after this evening, but right now I can't see into the chat. I apologize.
Okay.
But yeah, that gives me the actual location. Yes.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Okay, great. Thanks. We'll get that to you.
Good evening.
Good evening and mahalo. The next report is for Governor Josh Green's representative, but I think Dave Day isn't able to join us tonight. But if anyone has a request or concern that they'd like to pass on to Dave, and up to the governor, can you please let us know, and Zoidel will record it and we will make sure that Dave gets it. Yes, Kahi.
Just quickly for the governor, if Bill 2471 does get to his desk, can he please pass that? That would be groundbreaking for our entire country to combat against Citizens United. Thank you.
Hey, Kahi, can you explain what that bill is about? Just summarize it.
Yeah, Bill 2471, it goes to the floor on Friday. What it does is it defines what a corporation can and can't do in our state. Currently, corporations are donating money like crazy, along with unions, along with special interest groups, dark money, etc., to contribute to campaigns, to advocate on their behalf without them knowing, millions and millions of dollars, right? And what's happened as a result of that is our democracy has more or less been taken over by corporate interests. Like I mentioned, where we're trying to pass bills and we're having to fight against a corporation all around the continent, but this is for our local community. It doesn't seem fair. And when you start looking at where our elected leaders are getting their money from, the answers are right there. And that goes for even our elected leaders in our district right here. And that's why I'm not taking any money from any corporations. But Bill 2471 would negate the ability for these corporations to, or even unions, to participate in pushing the money to influence elections.
Okay.
And Hawaii could be the first in the country to do so.
Okay, thank you for telling us about it.
Clarification, that's Senate Bill 2471. The House Bill 2471 is about sustainable tourism.
Okay, thank you. Any other questions for Governor Josh Green? No. Okay. We will now go to the representative for Council Chair Tommy Waters. Adam Du, are you with us tonight?
It's me, Tasha, tonight. And
Tasha, hi.
hi, good evening. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, I just have a couple of quick updates. Chair Waters will be hosting a Kuli'ou'ou Aina Town Hall on Thursday, May 28th at 6:30 p.m. at the Aina Elementary School cafeteria. It'll be your chance to discuss issues you're passionate about and share your thoughts on community safety. Chair Waters has invited DTS Director Roger Morton to discuss any traffic safety concerns you may have, such as speeding, fronting Holy Nativity School, and speed mitigation plans for West Hine Drive near Aina Elementary School. DFM Director Gina Bono will also be there. This is your chance to advocate for Wailupe Stream. Director of Homeless Solutions, Roy Miyahara, and HPD Major Yamamoto will also be attending. Chair has also invited Emergency Services Director Dr. Jim Ireland. Again, the town hall is on Thursday, May 28th at 6:30 p.m. at Aina Elementary School cafeteria. We hope to see you all there. And lastly, as District 4 Representative Asa Shimizu comes to close of his term as Youth Commission Chair, we will soon be seeking applicants for his replacement. Applicants must be 14 to 24 years old at the time of appointment. Successful applicants will be appointed to a one-year term. For those individuals under 18, they will need their parent or guardian's permission. Look out for an application link on their website either this month or next month. And with that, I'm happy to take back any questions or concerns to Chair.
Thank you, Tasha. Yes, please go ahead.
I know resources are really tight with all the rain.
Tell her your name.
William Kilcoyne. What's the latest on the maintenance of the Wailupe Stream? Originally, it was supposed to be April of this year. So obviously, we missed that deadline. We have hurricane season starting in a month. So what are the plans for the Wailupe Stream?
I'll bring that question back to Chair and have an answer at the next meeting. Or hopefully Director Albano will be able to address that at our town hall.
May 28th Town Hall. Be there. One of us will be there. Let me know what the agenda is. Okay, are there any other questions for Council Chair Waters? We don't have any right now, but we thank you very much for being with us tonight, Tasha, and I hope that you will continue to advertise the upcoming town hall because it's a good chance to meet with him.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. Have a good night.
Thank you, Tasha. Next, we have Senator Stanley Chang.
Good evening, everyone. It's Stephanie on the screen.
Hi, Stephanie.
Hi, so nice to see you, Chair, members of the board, and a special aloha to all the community members and my neighbors. So thanks for the opportunity to provide a brief update, and thank you so much for the timer. And thanks to everyone who shared. Mahalo to Aloha for your work, and of course, Dita, as always, for your updates and the heads up on opportunities to have fun and support the arts. So I got three quick areas I want to focus on. And of course, this will be my last presentation as the legislative session is coming to an end. So I'll start there with the end of conference, a couple community resources, and then a couple of public engagement opportunities as well. So lots of voting happened on the floor today, as was previously referenced, and then we've got one more floor session happening on Friday, and that'll be the end of this biennium in the 2026 session. So a lot of the final votes took place today on the House and Senate floors, and we are full speed ahead towards adjournment. If you'd like to follow the status of bills introduced or by Senator Chang, I will drop that link in the chat. Of course, once you know how to navigate the Capitol website, you can build your own lists out, whether you want to find out by senator or by issue or committee, where things are. And the public access room, as always, will be available to help you navigate both the end of this session and biennium, but also to help you prepare to bring forth your ideas for the next session and the next biennium. It's not too late. We've already been collecting bill ideas, including from some of you who've called and expressed concerns and insights. So thank you very much for those. Of course, Senator Chang doesn't just introduce housing as the housing chair, but he's got things dealing with public safety, culture, community resilience, et cetera. So you can learn more on the legislature's website about that. And of course, senatorchang.com for ways to connect with us and to access our updates. Tomorrow, if you may have read about or heard, we'll be honoring the life and legacy of former Congresswoman and Senator Colleen Hanabusa, whose contributions to Hawaii and to public service continue to leave a lasting impact across our state. So I just left a couple hours ago and they were setting it up. It looks like a beautiful commemoration. And lastly, just thanks again to everyone who submitted testimony, called the office, attended hearings, and stayed engaged throughout session. Your feedback, and we saw examples of that, truly shapes legislation and informs our work. The main newsletter has lots of updates and resources, including some federal resources following up on the Kona low storms and flooding events. We've put some links in there to federal mortgage relief protections and other resources for impacted homeowners in addition to what was discussed earlier. So please do check out our May constituent newsletter and subscribe if you haven't already. And we added like the quality of life survey from UH and things that may be of interest. Of course, we'll be hosting their annual legislative wrap-up event later this week, which will provide a broad overview of some of the outcomes of sessions and perspectives on major policy developments. But I just wanted to finally highlight we'll be doing a housing post-session briefing and wrap-up event next week to discuss specifically housing-related legislation implementation and next steps moving forward. So we sent an email out about that, I think, this morning, if you're on our list. So please sign up for Zoom if you'd like to watch virtually, or just send us a note if you think you might be able to join us in person next week at the Capitol for that. So thanks again for your partnership and your advocacy and your engagement throughout session. We really appreciate you and the work that you do and the opportunity to stay connected. So please visit senatorchang.com. I'll put that link in the chat, and happy to take back any questions or concerns.
Are there any concerns for Senator Chang? Anything that you would like to ask? I don't see any questions for you, Zephanie, but it's been a pleasure working with you, and we hope you learned a lot this year in Senator Chang's office, and wish you the best in your career, wherever you go next.
Thank you so much, and thanks for all that you do. Hope to see you all again soon.
You too. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Next, we have Representative Mark Hashem.
Hi,
Representative.
Chair. This is Jane
hi,
Taylor.
Jane.
Hi, good evening. I thank you. Thank you, Chair. Aloha to you and to all the board members that are present at the meeting tonight. I am Jane Taylor here representing Representative Mark Hashem, District 19. As you know, it has been a very busy week at the Capitol. I wanted to just highlight a couple of things. We are working I don't have the final details on this yet, but we're working on getting some additional money to work with the Wailupi Stream flooding mitigation, and also for a statewide, not a statewide, but a Honolulu-wide library security budget. We have secured money for Aina Library and Moanalua Bay, which I've talked about before, but those are for sure in the budget. And we are looking at getting some of the money for the Wailupi Stream flooding, hopefully from the green fee, but we don't have the final details on that yet. Nothing further on the Kuli'ou'ou traffic issue yet. We are in touch with the offices to try to find out some more information about that for you, so that we can, as requested, get the information out to you as soon as possible before construction starts. And otherwise, we're doing a lot of work in the office, helping people that need help with culvert cleaning, any drainage issues. We absolutely love the City and County 311 mobile app, which we encourage you to use and download on your phone. But if you don't feel techie, please call our office. We're happy to help you with that. And we're happy to just get out in front of those issues for you. And I'll take any questions this evening. Thank you for letting us speak.
Thank you, Jane. Does anyone have questions for Representative Mark Hashem? No. Is Representative Hashem going to be at the town hall? Do you know, Jane?
I do not know that. I know he will be at the May 9th open house at the James Building, being coordinated by Cheryl Park in Hawaii Kai. That's coming up this weekend. I do not know about the town hall. What is the date on this?
28th of May.
May 28th. Okay. I'll check with him.
Okay.
And
That would be neat if he was there.
Chair Waters is running that, right?
Right.
Okay. For sure, we'll check that out. Thank you.
Appreciate the updates, and it's great to hear about the money to improve the safety in Aina Library. So I take it the library personnel know about it.
Well, like I said, it's in something that we're working on finalizing, and Aina would be a part of it, part of that budget. But we don't have the final thing. We do have, for Aina upgrades at the library, though, we do have $1 million. So we're working with the upgrades that they're going to do at Aina Library. That's already confirmed.
Oh, good news. Thank you.
Yeah, that's exciting. It's a good venue for lots of things in the community.
Jane, there's a question from Janine Johnson for you.
Sure. Hi, Janine.
Hi, Jane. I know I've spoken to Representative Hashem about this, but the New Valley Middle School has put a sign up, several signs that residents have to stay off their property.
Right.
And all my life, we've never had a problem. And I know there has been a few problems, but it seems like you're refusing to let the whole entire community use their field because of a few people who have ruined, or ridden a e-bike over the field.
Well, thank you for bringing that up. We did reach out. I think it was you that contacted our office. We finally heard back from the principal at New Valley, and he told us they simply put that sign up to discourage people from coming onto the playground and the field during the weekend. There were some people that were using dirt bikes and things on there. It's still available for the community to use, going through their normal channels, I believe, which is contacting the school and letting them know, or arranging for the field for soccer, all the different things. But I'm happy to send you a copy of the email that we received from him explaining exactly his position. He is not trying to discourage people from using it. He is just trying to discourage vandals and people like that with that sign. And I think in his mind, that would deter some people.
Thank you. We would appreciate it because we just walk our dogs.
Right.
And
Yeah.
walk grass. I mean, it's not, we don't do it. And for years and years, we've never done anything except pick up trash or or take care of the property. So, the sign was a huge shock to a lot of our residents.
Yes, and thank you for reaching out about that. And we did, like I say, follow up with the and finally heard back from the principal. He was, yeah. I'll forward a copy to chair of that email.
Thank you, Jane.
Okay, thank you.
Yes.
Bill Kilcoyne, we lost the library security guard. Is there any budget or any plans to try to get a security guard back here? They said the reason we lost him was there's no problems at the library. Well, I think part of the solution is having a guard there, and that's why there weren't a lot of problems.
I do not know anything about that, what the plan is for the future, but I'll bring it up with Rep. Hashem tomorrow and see what we can find out about that. Everyone is aware of the situation regarding the need for more security at all the libraries. I'll see what I can find out.
Thank you, Jane.
Thank you. Thank you.
Are there any other questions for Representative Mark Hashem? Okay. Thank you very much. Have a nice evening.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, and last, I believe Casey Abe is not with us. Okay, so we will move on to our presentations, our long-awaited presentations, and I want to thank our presenters for your patience. Glad you're here. Why don't we start with Tyrone Monter and your staff to talk about the Pia Valley Restoration Project.
Aloha mai kako. My name is Tyrone Monteri, President of Protect and Preserve Hawaii. Just first off, I want to mahalo the opportunity to be here tonight to share an early look at a small project we're exploring to support our ongoing work in Pia Valley. So I'll be providing some background on our organization and the project, and I have Ryan Ringet from G70 who will be going through some of the design and planning in more detail. We currently steward 330 acres in Pia Valley, located just above New Valley. We started our active restoration in October of 2020, as well as our volunteer programming. Our work includes ecosystem restoration, invasive species removal, guided hikes, and also workshops for the community, including Native Hawaiian practices as Puhao Humu Pohaku. A big part of our approach in making sure our work remains low impact to the community while still providing resources as well as opportunities for them. And as part of supporting that work, we're exploring a small, thoughtful design project to help make those efforts more sustainable for long term. With that, I'll let Ryan take it over and walk through the project in more detail.
Great. Mahalo, Tyrone. So aloha, Chair, Neighborhood Board members. My name is Ryan Ringet. I am a planner with G70, and we're helping Tyrone with his project. Thank you for giving background on Protect and Preserve Hawaii, Tyrone. The purpose is to, provide information on the project and also to take any comments that the neighborhood board may have. We're in the early consultation process of environmental assessment. So if there's any comments the neighborhood board would like to give to us, we'll take that as well. So I think next slide, please. Okay, so the project site that we're looking at is at the Mauka end of Haleloa Street. We're planning for it to be a portion of Protect and Preserve Hawaii's TMK. So that's 37015-076. It's the red portion small portion at the end of Honolulu Street that you see on your screen. Currently, it's a vacant site with non-native vegetation. It's been used for dumping construction waste and other trash and rubbish. The surrounding area, you have single-family residences, Mackay, and there's a water supply water tank off to kind of the north west. And the rest of the surrounding area of the project site is conservation district land. Next slide, please. So the purpose of the project is to really support, protect, and preserve Hawaii's efforts to improve the area through restoration, management, and long-term stewardship. And to do that, the project is proposing an education center and office, a plant nursery, parking and access road or driveway, a caretaker's residence, circulation and landscaping, and a subdivision and land swap with the adjacent parcel so that those improvements are part of the Protect and Preserve Hawaii's TMK. Next slide, please. So the project site is in State Conservation District General Subzone land. So that triggers the HRS 343 EA requirement. It's on City and County of Honolulu P1 restricted zoning district land. It's in flood zone D, and it's not in the special management area. So we're anticipating our project to need HRS 343 compliance in the form of environmental assessment, a conservation district use application with DLNR. And then next slide, please. And so we are in the final parts of the early consultation process. We'll take those comments and begin drafting our EA, which we hope to finish in September of this year. We'll have a draft EA comment period anticipated in October. And then we're hoping to finalize our EA in February of next year. And once that EA has been finalized, we'll begin our conservation district use application process. We will need to confirm with DLNR, but we anticipate there will be a public hearing in April of next year, finalizing the draft CDUA in May of next year, and then hopefully everything is done at the end of next year. So next slide. So yeah, thank you for the opportunity to present on our project. And if you want to receive notifications on the draft EA, yeah, please send your or email us your contact at the project email shown on screen. So thank you, and we'll take any comments or.
I got a question.
Yes, please
I'm
go ahead.
Frank Fuji. First of all, G70, who is G70 and what do you guys do? That's the first question. Second question is, you mentioned a land swap. Okay, the state owns the land now, is my understanding.
So Protect and Preserve Hawaii has the parcel, and then there's a private landowner adjacent to them. And the idea is part of the land of one parcel will move to PPH, and a similar amount of land from PPH will move to that other parcel. So it's moving land from one parcel to another in approximately equal amounts, just so PPH can have access to the end of Halealoa Street. And then G70, we're a private consulting firm based in Honolulu. We do planning, architecture, civil engineering, and interior design. And we're supporting Tyrone on his project.
So what's your interest in it?
So I'm an urban planner. So I'm helping with the HRS 343, so the environmental assessment and the conservation district use application. So helping to navigate those processes.
Have you come across the fire ants or the croaky frogs or the beetles or anything up there in your travels? Because they're coming our way, and I was just curious if you guys have stumbled across any of those bad critters.
maybe Tyrone.
Not so much LFA, but definitely CRB has been spotted in Kuli'ou'ou and in some of the new valley areas, but not in our project area per se, but in New Valley for sure.
Hi, Mecca Monsingir. I wanted to know if part of the assessment that you discussed is gonna be taking a look at maybe the traffic in that area. I know like that's probably a concern of the people living there is the in and out and heading into the valley and when that'll get looked at.
Yeah, we'll take a look at that during the draft EA process.
A question from Kalani.
Hi. Thanks for the report. I had a question. So, are you a nonprofit, or like what is your community?
Yes, we are. We're a 501c3 nonprofit, and we have Kuli'ou'ou to steward the 330 acres in Pio Valley.
Do you have Hawaiians on your nonprofit?
We have multiple Hawaiian practitioners, including Kimiona Kane from Waimanalo Neighborhood Board. But more practitioners that just practice on the space, and and the space is also open to the community 24/7.
And then in your presentation, it said there were no native plants up there. Is that true?
I think so the project site is primarily non-native vegetation. We do have a biological consultant that's going to take a look in depth or survey the area and see what's there. We're still waiting on their report, but our understanding right now is that it's primarily non-native vegetation on that just small portion of the project site off of Haleloa Street.
Are you folks? I'm sorry. Are you folks planning on doing an archaeological inventory survey?
So in addition to the flora and fauna survey for the biological resources, we've got a archaeological literature review and field inspection, as well as a cultural impact assessment study as well, that another company is doing.
And who are your informants from Neo Valley?
Sorry, I don't have that information with me. That was the other company, but it'll be part of our draft EA.
Hey, we have another question from Sandra Fun.
Hi, thank you. Can you just tell me like the funding source for this project?
Currently, it's with National Fish and Wildlife. So we're part of a Maukata Makai project with Malau Mauna Lua. And to expand that project and to help us with resources such as plants and seeds, that we're trying to create a place for a nursery. And that's where the permitting and planning funding is coming from. Once that part gets approved, then we'd have to be looking for funding for the actual capital improvements.
Okay, so if follow-up question, if I may. So if it's a NIFWIP funding, don't you need to do a federal 343 like a instead of a EA 343, it's the
It's the
NEPA.
NEPA.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Are you doing that?
We're not doing a NEPA EA. Our understanding is NIFWIP is quasi-governmental. So if it's a NIFWIP grant, you don't have to do NEPA compliance with it. So it's sort of national, but it's not, is our understanding.
Yes.
Ryan, it's Hale'ola Street.
My apologies.
In case anybody's wondering where this is, Hale'ola Street. And then on page, what is this? The project description? There's a couple of features that I would dispute aren't there. One is it's labeled an existing trail. I don't think it's there. And one is an existing cleared path. And I don't think that's there either.
Okay, thank you. We'll take a look.
Go ahead, Healani.
Oh yeah. So if you're working, so the Malama Mauna Lua grant is a NOAA grant, which is a federal grant. If you're using federal monies on this project, then you need to do a 106 too. That should trigger. And then also I have concerns about building on any conservation land, um, anything. Because of the infrastructure that needs to be put in there. And I'm just sharing that. But yeah, if you're using any federal monies, it could be $1, then you need then 106 can be triggered or should be triggered.
Okay, thank you. We'll take a look at the Section 106 requirements. And yeah, we'll take your comment on the conservation district use as well. Thank you.
I just want to say I'm fairly familiar with the site, and not only does it have building debris, it's also got abandoned vehicles, and before it was a pig farm. So I think a native dance plant nursery is kind of an upgrade.
Well, we'd like to hear an update on this project before the public hearing, if possible, next year. Thank you for informing us about this, what the plans are in Pia Valley. So we'd like to hear more from you next year before the big public questioning period. Go ahead.
You are still having the Super Chill Saturday? Okay, so maybe if anybody wants to check it out, you can RSVP on their site for the Super Chill Saturday.
Oh,
Yeah, just a shameless plug. So we have 9 events a month, every Monday, Saturday, and fourth Sunday.
okay. Thank you, guys. Are there any more questions for Protect and Preserve Hawaii? We have one more from Healani. Okay, Healani, let's wrap it up.
Okay, that was unnecessary to say. Let's wrap it up.
Not you.
And I
Not
want to
you.
say,
Just the project
yeah.
presentation.
And I just want to say too, like, the rules that we adopted stated that you have to be recognized by the chair before you speak. You can't just go and speak. So I just want to remind
Repeating that. Yes, thank you.
people about that rule because people keep speaking without being recognized. And I want to just address the comment that Vice Chair made, again, out of turn, without being recognized, about it being an upgrade. Whenever you have to dig in the ground and do ground disturbance, that's not an upgrade because of the chance of hitting bones or the chance of hitting something that's sacred. And so cleaning up is a nice thing, and I appreciate you folks' work, but I do not support putting in pipes, water pipes, sewage pipes, putting in the whole infrastructure to build something on conservation land. Thank you for recognizing me and giving me the opportunity to speak. Mahalo.
You're welcome. Thank you for your comments, Healani. Appreciate it. Like
you
to
very
hear
much.
more.
Mahalo nui.
Our next presentation is on the Green Stormwater Initiative, and it's Veronica Gibson will be speaking to us, and she's the Science and Planning Manager for Malama Mauna Lua.
Yeah, aloha. Thank you for having me. Aloha kako. I'm online.
See, hello.
Okay. Oh, my computer doesn't want to give me permission. Why? I'm so sorry. This is my first time presenting here. And it's
Can we
not
make a
letting me.
motion to pause the time until she's ready to start, maybe? Yeah.
Share. Oh, sorry. It's not letting me share. Oh, here we go. Excuse me. Are you able to see my slides now?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, thank you so much. Without further ado, I'm here today to present on our Rain Barrel Incentive Program. We have two programs going on. At this time, we have free rain barrels and installations for Oahu in an island-wide project. But what I'm really here today at this board meeting to present about is the Wailupe specific project. Malama Mauna Lua 3R Water are partners on this, as well as the city and county. And we have two different grants that support this. The Hawaii Community Foundation supports the island-wide, and the State of Hawaii Department of Health supports the Wailupe specific initiative. Lama Mauna Lua has been mentioned a few times today. Honored to be here as the newly hired science and planning manager this past January. If you want to learn more, you can go to malamamaunalua.org or feel free to email me or follow up after the presentation. But we're a nonprofit focused on the health of Mauna Lua Bay and also now Ridge to Reef projects, as we've heard about earlier in this meeting. So why would you want a rain barrel? We're seeking to spread the use of rain barrels throughout the island and throughout Mauna Lua to capture and store rainwater on site. This process allows rainwater time to soak into the soil and replenish our aquifer. So instead of, we all saw the recent flooding events, this slows down the volume of water that's entering our streams and our nearshore ecosystems during those floods. Now, it would take a lot of rain barrels to mitigate the huge floods that we just had during the Kona lows. But during smaller rain events, these do help to reduce, each barrel reduces 55 gallons. And we have some great numbers that show how much 200 rain barrels will reduce flooding quite a bit. Or we'll at least reduce the stormwater flow quite a bit, especially with the 200 barrels we're planning to put in the Wailupe watershed. These are the barrels that we are installing, these earthmark barrels. So I wanted to showcase that you are able to turn the lid over and have plants on the top if you would like to do so. These, again, they protect our groundwater supply. They reduce energy use by using this rainwater instead of using water that's pumped through our water distribution system. And they can lower your water bill because rainwater is free. These are some other positive things about using rainwater. One of them is, during hurricane season, God forbid, or tsunami or any kind of emergency, if our water is disrupted, this is a water source for non-drinking purposes, and it can also help you in your garden. So the new program that we're introducing is the Wailupe Valley program. This is the targeted restoration of Wailupe watershed. As you already heard about the stream restoration that's ongoing, the rain barrels are helping to increase that ridge to reef restoration and reduce the harm to our nearshore ecosystem from runoff. We need 200 residents to sign up to receive a free rain barrel. So please tell your friends and neighbors. You can apply at rainwaterhawaii.com. They're processed in the order they're received, so please apply as soon as possible, and the applications will close on July 1st. But the sooner you apply, the more likely to get a rain barrel. We've defined the Wailupe watershed based on the state maps between Wili Wili Nui Ridge and Hawaii Loa Ridge, so inclusive of about half of Hawaii Loa Ridge. Please email me if there's questions or follow up. Now, if you don't live in this region, we also have our island-wide initiative. So this is no problem. We are distributing 250 across the whole island. So the same process to apply. Rainwaterhawaii.com will link you to our follow the drop app. That is our application process. And the main criteria is that you have a downspout that we can connect the rain barrel to. So you're required to submit a photo of your downspout. Now, 250 isn't many for all of Oahu, but we will be seeking continued funding to expand this incentive across the Oahu. So please do apply. And even if you are whitelisted, we're actively applying for more funding to spread the rain barrels and reduce flooding across the island. With that, mahalo nui loa for listening. I'll take any questions. I'll send you guys an updated slide. I did add this slide because I realized I didn't include my email in the first slide. So runoff@malamamaunalua.org is our contact for this. Thank you.
Thank you, Veronica. Does anyone have questions for Veronica about the rain barrel installation opportunity that you have now, if you're in this area? No? Well, hope that a lot of people take advantage of this. And we thank you for letting us know more about it.
Yeah, thank you for having me and listening.
Kalani?
How many
Kalani,
rain
I'm sorry, did
barrels?
you have a question for her about rain barrels?
Oh, yeah, sorry. I thought you said my name. Okay, yeah, I do. How many rain barrels can you request per household?
So currently, it is 1 rain barrel per household. The Wailupe targeted program, I will say, is a new program for us. So there may be possibilities, as I showed the picture, you can have 2. If we don't get enough applicants, but we hope to spread them to as many applicants as possible throughout the watershed. And there is still the Board of Water Supply rebate program. If you wish to buy more rain barrels for yourself, they do provide some incentive rebate. It doesn't cover the full cost or the installation, but you still can apply for that rebate program if you want to add more.
Thank you. I think we're gonna request one for Pu'uhonua or Wailupe. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you.
Any other questions before we end our presentations and go to our closing announcements? Okay. Closing announcements. So we recess in June and our next meeting will be on July 1st. Please attend the May 28th town hall. It's your chance to talk to a number of state officials and as well as Director Albano. And yeah, I hope you'll be there. And if you can't be there, let me know what you wanted to bring up because I plan to go. And that is it. This meeting is now adjourned and we thank you all for coming and for your mana'o and welcome Sandra.